What I saw was destruction that I've never seen before. It looked like someone had taken their hands and just absolutely cleared what was vibrant communities of multi-generational homes. Everything was gone.
Most people sitting in their home today are most likely underinsured, but just won't find out about it unless they're impacted by a wildfire.
I started working at the San Francisco Chronicle in 2021, and the Caldor fire was my first California wildfire. We knew it was going to be a big one because they were evacuating South Lake Tahoe. I started hearing from locals that the media attention should really be on a logging community called Grizzly Flats. The community was, for the most part, gone. When I met Jennifer, it was clear that she was in shock. Obviously, having learned that she lost her home, however, she was being really strong for her two sons. I returned to Grizzly Flats in 2024 and honestly didn't recognize it. There was no point of reference for me. Everything had been clear cut. And so it was a completely different community. It's very clear that a lot of people weren't able to rebuild, and what they could rebuild or bring into their land was a trailer.
Over the last 2 decades, California's largest home insurance companies have overwhelmingly used several different algorithms to determine how much to insure homeowners for. And what we found over the last 6 months is that those algorithms are not working. They are leading to widespread underinsurance among homeowners in California. And what that means is that when a person's home burns down in this state, they won't have enough money to rebuild their house.
This isn't just a California problem. These algorithms are being used across the country, and studies in states like Colorado and Washington have also identified large amounts of underinsurance among wildfire victims.
When I returned to Grizzly Flats, I met with Jennifer again. I was kind of hoping her situation had improved, that she got to rebuild on land that her and her husband worked so hard to develop for their two sons. And what I discovered was that was not the case at all. Jennifer's land looks like an empty lot. You would never know that there were birthday parties and dinners and places to host and just joyful memories and times. You wouldn't know that. And now when she walks through her property, she still gets emotional even 4 years after the fire.
We were really lucky that Brontë had connected with one of our communities in Grizzly Flats early on, because we identified that community as particularly damaged by underinsurance really soon into our reporting. And then our relationships with those folks up there really provided the emotional heart to this reporting.
When the LA fires happened in January, I flew down to cover it. What I saw was destruction that I've never seen before. Everything was gone. It wasn't just a couple homes on a block. It was every block. All I could think about was, here's Grizzly Flats 4 years later, and a lot of families are still left in limbo. They're unable to rebuild. They don't know where to go. Some are in trailers, and some might be in trailers for the rest of their lives. And it really made me think, what's gonna happen in LA?
Nearly all of the 20 most destructive wildfires in California history have happened in the past 20 years. So this problem's only gonna get worse. Underinsurance is only gonna become more and more visible.